The Mystery of the Forgotten Kingdom. Long ago, in a land beyond the mountains, there was a prosperous kingdom named Somapuram. The people lived happily under the rule of their wise and just king Raja Aniruddha. The kingdom had fertile lands, abundant rivers, and wealth beyond measure. But one day, without warning, the entire kingdom disappeared. The lands turned into a barren desert and not a single person remained. Travelers passing by saw only ruins covered in an eerie mist. No one knew what had happened, and over time, Somapuram became a forgotten legend. Many years later, a young prince named Vikramaditya from the neighboring kingdom of Kalinga heard the tale. He was curious and loved solving mysteries. How can a kingdom vanish overnight? He wondered. He decided to uncover the truth. His father, King Chandraprakash, warned him, "No one who has entered the ruins of Somapuram has ever returned. It is cursed." But Vikramaditya was fearless. With his sword, a few supplies, and his loyal horse Chitraka, he set out on his journey. Vikramaditya traveled for days, crossing rivers and dense forests, until he finally reached the barren land where Somapuram once stood. A cold wind blew, and an eerie silence surrounded the ruins. As he stepped forward, a deep voice echoed, "Turn back, traveler, or be lost forever." The prince tightened his grip on his sword and replied, "I seek the truth. Show yourself." A figure emerged from the mist. It was an old sage with a long beard, dressed in white robe. "I am Rishi Agastya," he said. Somapuram did not disappear by accident. It was cursed by its own greed. Vikramaditya was intrigued. "Tell me what happened." Rishi Agastya began his tale. Many years ago, King Aniruddha ruled wisely, but his ministers were corrupted. They hoarded wealth, burdened the poor with taxes, and ignored their suffering. One day, a great sage named Rishi Vasishtha visited the court and warned them, "A kingdom that forgets justice will crumble like dust. Repent before it is too late." But the greedy ministers laughed and insulted the sage. Furious, Rishi Vasishtha cursed the land. "May this kingdom vanish from the eyes of men until a ruler worthy of its riches arrives." That night, a great storm came, and by morning, the kingdom was gone. The people, the king, the palace, everything disappeared into another realm, trapped by the curse. The prince was amazed. "So the kingdom still exists, hidden by magic?" The sage nodded. "Yes, and only a worthy soul can break the curse. But to do so, you must pass 3 tests." Vikramaditya took a deep breath. "Tell me what I must do." The sage led Vikramaditya to a deep chamber with a narrow bridge. "Only those who speak the truth may cross," said the sage. As Vikramaditya stepped forward, a voice whispered, "You are a prince. You seek this kingdom's treasure, not justice. Admit it, and you may pass." For a moment, Vikramaditya was tempted to lie, but he took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I was curious about the treasure, but now I seek to free the innocent people trapped by the curse." The bridge remained firm, and he crossed safely. The first test was complete. The prince entered a grand palace filled with gold, jewels, and priceless treasures. A beautiful voice whispered, "Take whatever you desire. You are a prince, and this wealth belongs to no one." Vikramaditya was tempted, but he remembered the sage's word. "A true king does not take what is not his," he said firmly. At once, the illusions disappeared, revealing a simple stone pathway leading forward. The second test was passed. Finally, the prince reached a chamber where a golden throne stood. An old man dressed in royal robes sat upon it, King Aniruddha himself. He looked at Vikramaditya and said, "To break the curse, you must choose. Save the kingdom or keep its treasure for yourself. But if you choose to save it, you will lose something precious." Vikramaditya knew his answer. "I choose to save the kingdom." A great light filled the room, and the ground trembled. The ruins of Somapuram began to transform. Palaces reappeared, rivers flowed again, and people emerged, looking around in wonder. The kingdom was restored. But suddenly Vikramaditya felt weak. He looked down and saw that his sword, the sword that had been passed down through his family for generations, had turned to dust. This was his sacrifice. Rishi Agastya smiled. "You have proven yourself, Prince Vikramaditya. You have restored not just a kingdom, but justice and wisdom." King Aniruddha, grateful for his kingdom's return, offered Vikramaditya the throne. But the prince declined. "My duty is to my own people," he said. "Let Somapuram be ruled by a just king." King Aniruddha promised to rule wisely, and Vikramaditya returned home, knowing he had done the right thing. When he told his father King Chandraprakash about the journey, the wise old king embraced him. "You have proven yourself not just as a warrior, but as a true ruler," he said. From that day on, Somapuram and Kalinga prospered together, and Prince Vikramaditya was remembered as a hero, not because he gained treasure, but because he chose justice over greed. Moral of the story: true leadership is not about wealth or power, but about justice, truth, and sacrifice. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.